Abandoned shadows, whispers of a forsaken house, shrouded in darkness and tainted by evil, echoed throughout the tiny town of Fairvale. As Emma, David, Rachel, and Mark approached the crumbling structure, the air grew thick with an ominous energy. The once grand mansion lay decaying, its windows broken and doors hanging off their hinges. Undeterred by the warnings of the townspeople, the four friends ventured inside, their footsteps muffled by layers of dust and debris. In the center of a dilapidated room, amidst scattered debris and peeling wallpaper, sat an ancient Ouija board. Its wooden surface was worn down by the years, the once vibrant letters and numbers faded with age, and the edges chipped and splintered. Despite its weathered appearance, an eerie energy emanated from the board. As they stepped closer, the planchette moved on its own accord, beckoning them to join in on the game. Curiosity and fear mingled as the group placed their fingers on the planchette. All sound disappeared, swallowed by the darkness. Shadows danced on the walls as the friends whispered incantations. The planchette spelled out cryptic messages from restless spirits. Emma's heart pounded as the planchette spelled out her name, each letter sending a shiver down her spine. In an instant, the temperature dropped and an otherworldly chill filled the room. Suddenly, the planchette shot across the board with a burst of energy, causing chaos to erupt. The ground trembled beneath them, and a suffocating darkness consumed the group, trapping them in a terrifying dimension beyond their understanding. Their hands shook with terror as they attempted to break the connection with the planchette. It refused to relent, moving on its own as if controlled by unseen forces. The spirits mocked their fear and spun tales of torment. A deafening silence fell over the room, and Mark's eyes widened in horror as a chilling message materialized on the board. One must stay. Terror consumed them as they came to the realization that the malevolent forces they had unleashed were demanding a sacrifice. Hands shaking, they pleaded for forgiveness as they watched the planchette's movements become wilder and more unpredictable. Suddenly, a dark figure appeared in front of them, its cruel intentions clear. The room filled with a sense of dread as they realized the consequences of their actions. Rachel's hand shook as she reached for the Ouija board, the planchette trembling beneath her fingertips. Her friends stood around her in a circle, their faces contorted with fear and anticipation. A cold gust of wind blew through the abandoned house, rustling the curtains and extinguishing the candles that lined the floor. As the horrifying truth dawned on Rachel, she realized that they had unleashed a malevolent being, hungry for human souls. In a last-ditch effort, she pleaded with her friends to flee while she bravely faced the dark entity alone. She uttered the chilling words, "I'll stay," sacrificing herself to save the others. Time seemed to halt and reality twisted as blood-curdling screams reverberated throughout the house. Rachel's form dematerialized into darkness, consumed by the wrathful spirit possessing her. The friends scattered in fear, their panicked footsteps echoing off the crumbling floorboards. Rachel's sacrifice would forever haunt them, a reminder of the dangers of meddling with the occult, and in that forsaken house, the malevolent force lingered, satisfied for now but always craving more souls. Emma, David, and Mark were consumed by guilt and haunted by memories of Rachel's screams in the cursed house. They couldn't shake the feeling of being observed by a malicious entity, but they attempted to continue living their lives as normal. Emma's dreams, however, were filled with images of Rachel's face and the sinister presence that took her life. Unable to bear the uncertainty, Emma ventured out on her own in search of the truth and stumbled upon a startling discovery. Emma was determined to uncover the truth about her friend's sudden disappearance, so she delved into forbidden texts and ancient lore, despite the risks involved. But as she read on, a grim revelation shook her to the core. The entity they had encountered fed on despair and claimed souls. Despite the unsettling rumors and cautions, Emma continued forward, weighed down by guilt for bringing her friends to such a perilous location. With the wisdom and cognizance of ancient legends, Emma returned to the infamous abode. The air crackled with danger as she stepped deeper into the unknown. Ghostly whispers sounded around her, enticing and warning her all at once. But armed with the knowledge of those who came before, she marched forward, determined to uncover the secrets hidden within the walls of the notorious dwelling. Emma cautiously made her way down the dim, decaying hallway, her senses on high alert. A lingering feeling of someone's presence sent chills down her spine, as if an unseen force was silently observing her every move. The musty smell of neglect and decay filled the air, making each step feel heavier than the last. She couldn't help but wonder who or what might be lurking in its shadows. The Ouija board remained in the center of the room, untouched and undisturbed, surrounded by scattered tarot cards and half-burned candles that flickered in the dim light of the room. Emma carefully lit candles of various sizes, each one casting its own unique glow, adding to the mysterious aura. As she chanted ancient incantations passed down through generations, the air hummed with a palpable energy. Unseen forces were at work. The flickering candlelight danced across her face as she delved into the realm of magic and spirituality. It was an otherworldly experience, one that could not be fully described in words, only felt through the senses. In an instant, a spectral figure appeared before Emma, its form twisting and contorting in a grotesque display of fear manifested. It emanated from the very depths of her mind and dreams, taking root in reality, its shape both familiar and terrifying, for it was not human but something ethereal, a creature born from her deepest anxieties. Every ounce of Emma's being urged her to flee, but she was paralyzed with fear as the entity advanced toward her with an unearthly intensity. Emma's hands trembled as she gripped the ancient book, continuing her recitation of the ritual. The candles flickered, and sweat trickled down her forehead as she chanted the final words to banish the entity from our realm forever. Emma crumpled to the floor, every muscle in her body spent and screaming in protest as she surrendered to the exhaustion. She struggled to catch her breath, her chest heaving with each gasp. The sweat-soaked fabric of her shirt clung uncomfortably to her skin, a reminder of the arduous journey she had just completed. Emma's heart pounded with a surge of adrenaline as she leaped to her feet, recognizing that it was no longer safe for her to remain in the perilous situation. Exploding out of the decaying house, still gasping like a suffocating victim finally drawing air, she sprinted away, desperate to escape the all-consuming darkness that had threatened to devour her whole. With one last glance at the twisted windows and crumbling walls of the house, she was reminded of the unspeakable horrors that had unfolded within its clutches. And even though she'd escaped with her life, every time Emma closed her eyes, the image of Rachel's tear-streaked face burned into her mind, like a hot brand. The pain of that memory, a constant reminder that some wounds never truly heal. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thank you for watching.